Christmas! And welcome back to Get Out My Head podcast.
I do like your presents. That's like Bane.
Yeah. Merry Christmas!
I was born in the North Pole. Watch my head.
You kind of have to like speak from within inside yourself.
Yeah, you can't speak with your lips. It has to be with your throat.
Inside yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's Coca-Cola did not make that brand. You know.
What do you think Bane got for Christmas?
I think. What do you reckon? I don't think he wants anything apart from world power and domination.
Maybe a wig. Nice party wig.
Maybe a woolly hat.
Nice party wig. Oh, right.
We're back.
We are back.
We are back. You know, we said we were back last Wednesday, but that didn't work.
Nope.
So we're back this Wednesday.
And whose fault is that, Nick?
I'm looking around the room. I'm spotting a...
Who had family?
I did not get rid of my family. There was only one solution, so I did it.
Family is a weakness.
It's a weird setup today because we are podcasting with a Chewbacca onesie, isolating the three of us. It's a weird setup.
That was one of my fabulous Christmas presents from Santa. Thank you, Santa. Got a Chewbacca onesie. Pretty pleased with.
Yeah, and one Christmas shoe.
One Christmas jingly shoe.
It's been a good one. It's been a good one.
It's very, very good boy this year. What did you guys get? How was your Christmas in general?
Yeah, it was cool. I've had about 6 Christmas dinners this year, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of, I'd say, over Christmas dinners.
Get out. Get out.
No. I mean, bread sauce and cranberry sauce are the main reason I come to a Christmas dinner, bizarrely. Yeah, I just love that stuff, but no more.
Did you do the traditional have Christmas dinner on Christmas Day and then on Boxing Day and then the day after that?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I've had about 3 or 4 work ones and then 3 friend ones.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's heavy.
I got away with doing one Christmas dinner this year.
No.
Yeah. And then we had curry on Boxing Day,
Christmas curry.
which was great.
Christmas
Kummer.
Yeah, it was lovely. It was really tasty.
I had unlimited Lindt chocolates. My grandma caught wind that I like Lindt chocolate, and so she was like, "I'm going in on this. This is happening."
Yes.
So she got just like you know those little Lindt balls?
Yeah.
Millions of them everywhere. Like I have like 4 or 5 for breakfast, and then maybe one every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I just keep pockets
Maybe
of
I
them.
should bring in the chocolate bag that I've got left over in here and we can just like feast.
I didn't actually get any tech presents because I buy all tech for myself as soon as it comes out. So I'm really hard to buy tech for. Oh no, wait! I did get something. I got a VR stand for my virtual headset and the 2 Move controllers and the PlayStation controller.
Oh, like an official Sony one.
It's like a mannequin?
It's not. It's
a mannequin's
like a fake Sony one. It looks a bit like it is watching you from the other side of the room, but it puts stuff neat and tidy, which makes people happy.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you wake up looking at and you're terrified. Like, oh god, there's a robot staring at me.
Yeah.
I got a present. I got a cool present. Max, you got one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. David got us some awesome gaming mice. I mean, now I'm the only one who hasn't got either of you guys presents. I know.
got your own colours, didn't you?
You got a Steel Series Rival 300.
Yeah, Max is the dark mouse because, you know, he's evil. And I'm the white mouse because, you know, I am the angel. The angel killer.
They're really cool. They've got so much more functionality than I ever thought that they would have. I thought I had a gaming mouse before, and now I've got the option to like change. I've got like macro functions for each mouse button.
The immediate satisfaction of changing the colour has got to be the best thing about a gaming mouse, though.
That's pretty. I feel like I do need a light up keyboard now as well.
But I thought a mouse, you could like move it and that was your input function. But then you look at the settings on the computer and there's like pages and pages and pages of options.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's like gonna be 2 weeks of fun.
Have you guys tried a mechanical keyboard? If I get pretty rich, that would be the present.
Yeah.
But they're like 200 quid
Yeah,
a
okay.
keyboard.
That's quite a lot.
Why are they better? I don't know.
They sound cool.
Oh,
They sound cool and basically like they're really
like
reliable.
typewriters?
They're like this is kind of a mechanical keyboard, right? It's like an old school Dell.
That
You get the
No,
That
sounds like that.
It sounds better than my MacBook, but
no, they're pretty heavy and they're like a lot of them have got like push to touch buttons. Those keyboards are just like little springy things with a push to touch. This is like a much more solid state of inputting and inputs. It's much anyway. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Awesome.
My little brother got me a Minecraft crafting book. He was like, "Oh, yeah, you're into this stuff." I was like, "Actually, yeah, I can't show. Like, this is awesome, but I'm making a galleon tonight."
What does it do, your Minecraft crafting?
It's like a Lego construction set. You get a
way.
Lego. Here's the Lego you need, and here's what you can build.
Sheesh.
So it's like, this is a creation that this person made. It's like medium difficulty, 3 to 5 days
That's amazing.
of solid
cool.
solid crafting.
That's great.
So yeah, it's kind of cool. And he got me like an anime.
Do you play Minecraft?
I got really into Minecraft at one point. Yeah,
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I did as
Minecraft
well.
is really cool.
I think it's great.
I did it for a day.
One day, is that it?
Yeah.
Did you play like creative mode or did you play survival mode?
I just played the mode that was available.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you played
it's
like
probably-
early days of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah,
some
I got
stuff in that
super
game.
into it in
Yeah,
the
when you don't
survival
know what you're going
stuff.
to find, like you can go over a hill and anything could be over there.
Yeah.
And then
cool.
I found like I like journeyed across one day. Like I spent like 2 hours preparing myself to like this journey across the water,
Yeah.
across the river that I've been seeing for ages. And then I saw this like civilization that was there. I was like, well, I didn't know that happened in Minecraft. There's
That's
like
really
there's like
cool.
a
Really?
abandoned town there, and I was like, I have to go back to get more supplies, but I'm coming back here tomorrow. I was like,
Were there
what is
villages in
this?
it?
There were no villages. It was like an abandoned town.
The villagers crack me up because they all, like every single one of them has the same voice and they run around going, "Rah, rah," and you hit them and they go, "Rah,
Oh,
rah."
That's
my
terrifying.
God.
It's really
I didn't even know
scary.
it was that. I thought it was like a single player game with no like non-playable characters. I stumbled across this and was like, this is like finding like a pyramid for the first time in real life.
Because I got down to the lowest level of the map, and I was like, well, I've completed it then, haven't I?
You remind the end of the universe.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got down to that. I got that diamond pickaxe, and I'm there. But then I saw this whole story about a Nether Dragon or something that looked pretty cool.
There's 3 different like realms you can go into.
What?
You got the normal place where it's like normal Minecraft, and then you go into the Netherworld,
Right.
Which is
Is that like the upside down world?
it's like hell. Yeah, basically, it's full of lava and
Wow.
like horrible pigmen and things like that.
Oh.
Really weird. And then you build a portal using stuff you find in there to go
What?
to the Enderworld where there's a big dragon you have to kill. That's the end of the game.
Have you seen, on a complete side note, have you seen a movie called As Above, So Below, which is a French horror
No.
movie, which is amazing, where they go
As
into the
above,
catacombs.
so below.
below.
Yeah, they go into the catacombs in Paris, and they are basically trying to find something. They go through a doorway, and
Yeah.
they find themselves in an upside down world, and it's like, it's sick. It's
That
really good.
sounds cool.
But
I'll
like,
watch that.
it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Really awesome, actually. And it's
Is this recent?
no, it came out 2 years ago, I
Okay.
think, and it's on Netflix. As Above, So Below. Very, very good.
I
love
definitely
horror
want to
though.
watch that.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
It's really good.
So, shall we go on with our topics?
Yeah. So this is the end of 2016.
Yeah.
This is it.
Thank God.
We made it. We're one of the
Finally.
few survivors.
Yeah.
Which is a bad joke. Stars need to go on.
We need to have like badges, like I made it through 2016.
Yes. It's like the leftovers.
Actually, I bet those would sell really well actually online. We should make them. Quickly sell them.
And t-shirts before this goes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can buy the merch online in our web store. So the theme of this episode is it's kind of a sum up of the year. It's what do we want to leave behind in 2016 and what we'll allow through to 2017. So we've got a list of kind of things, events in kind of TV, video games, technology, culture that happened in 2016. And we're here to be the gatekeepers of 2017. What will we allow through next year? And what will we residing to die in 2016? Allow it through.
Denied.
What's like a good theme song for it not allowing to go through? Like,
Access denied.
I'm sorry, Michael.
Just going to take that little chunk and put that at the end of each thing you don't like.
There we go. And then for things that can go through to 2017, what's our sound for that? I want the Halo one. I want no. Thanks, David. That was a great rendition.
We can go that.
There we go. Okay, so that is the theme of this podcast. Where do you reckon we should start?
Right. Well, yeah. What have we got first?
What have we got first? What's our event or item in 2016?
I think we should start off with like some entertainment stuff, like movies and things like that.
Got it.
And then we go into some tech and then games.
I don't think this has been a particularly good year for movies.
No.
Overall.
No. There's not been one film which has stood out for me.
There's been no Christopher Nolan movie though, right?
No, and there's not been like even.
And that for me is my
when
default.
7 Years a Slave came out, it's like, oh, this is the film which is going to win. Like,
That this
It's
year.
12 Years a Slave.
yeah.
You saw the prequel.
Well, 7, 12. So, 5 of those years are pretty easy for him.
5 more years, we'll get an Oscar for this. But okay, let's start with our favorite topic then.
Yeah.
So Star Wars. This has been a very big year for Star Wars.
I love it. I
You love
love
Star
that
Wars.
it's back in the limelight.
Okay.
Like, if you wanted to go into a shop and buy some Star Wars,
We got a freaking
stuff,
Chewbacca in front of us.
Yeah, it's all back. Like, Star Wars is now in the mainstream culture again, which, you know, a few years ago you felt like a real nerd if you wanted to, you know, wear a Chewbacca.
Okay,
onesie.
let me pose the question. Do we let Star Wars in 2017? Have we had
Yeah.
enough Star Wars?
Yeah.
Is Star Wars too much now?
No, we're back. We like
Way
back at the
more.
beginning.
You think? You want more of it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if
Ooh.
I'm ready for the Han Solo story. That's what I'm a bit worried about. I don't know.
Is
if
that
I
going to
want
be
that.
the Rogue One sequel?
Yeah, that's it's the other Star Wars story. But I would have
Okay.
preferred something maybe around bounty hunters or the Jedi or maybe even the Sith. Like, I don't know, something a bit more mystical. I think we had quite a realistic war.
Why? I think isn't there supposed to be quite a lot of back history to Han Solo?
But it will be about
Before.
smuggling. And
Yeah.
it will be a kind of rogue-like film, and we've already had a
Rogue
Rogue
2.
One film. So I kind of wanted a different part of the Star Wars universe, maybe around something mystical or something like
But
that.
do you not think
Yeah.
we should just get rid of the Star Wars stories? Because this one wasn't
They're wicked,
amazing.
man. They add a really good facet.
I don't
You didn't
know.
like it.
You didn't, right? Okay, so I came on as the kind of the person who wasn't the biggest fan of Rogue One. And David, you were like, "Oh, yeah, it's the best thing I've ever
Gushing.
seen." Oh, Rogue One.
Yeah.
And then you told me yesterday that you were like, "I think I overrated it. I think I hyped it too much."
I
And
think-
Max, you were also stepping down a bit from it.
Yeah, it's not the best film ever,
Yeah.
but it was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I would have wanted it to be a little less war heavy and a little more character developy and
Yeah,
like
that's- yeah, I
interesting
agree.
The
scenery and
characters weren't great.
stuff. No,
They weren't as memorable as they could be. So
the Ip Man was the best.
Which
Sharut Imwe. Sharut Ip Man.
the blind guy.
Yeah, the blind guy.
Yeah.
You know the kung fu movie Ip Man.
I thought it was IP man. I thought he was an IP lawyer.
Is it I.P. Or
No,
is
I think it's
it's Ip.
lowercase I, lowercase p. I think it's like ip.
Ip Man?
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Internet
okay.
Protocol.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay. Damn it.
I saw a great video online of the shootout between the characters on Rogue One when they're fighting stormtroopers, and it's Jyn Erso and whatever his name is, the other rebel dude fighting stormtroopers, and it was like just action, like pure like batons and pistols and stuff. And then you see the scene in Star Wars: A New Hope,
Yeah.
and it's basically Solo, Luke, and Leia holding off stormtroopers, and there's always like witty crits between them, and the princess is
That's
like,
what's
this is-
fun.
Yeah.
this is some kind
Yeah.
of what a rescue, and there's like all this kind of characters you want to be with and like, and there's always kind of character development. Whereas in this film, it was it was very serious. It was a very
Yeah.
serious film, but there are some. I mean, one of your criticisms in it was like there wasn't many memorable moments, but in my head, like afterwards, I do like remember. It's a very visually memorable thing, like the whole thing of the island, looking down from Admiral Akbar's brother's spaceship, the Vader.
It was
scene.
well shot. I like
It's
the
not
pictures.
as iconic, but I think that's what they wanted to do with it.
The stories may not be the kind of the iconic place
Yeah.
to like bring in new characters
It's
and so on.
backstory.
I mean, that thing for me is that Star Wars was always there, and the Force was always the thing which interested me most about those
Yeah.
films, and kind of the mystical, like the choices that people make, good or
What are they
bad,
called?
light or dark.
What the particles that make up the Force?
Midichlorians.
You like the
which-
midichlorian stories?
No, I don't.
You want Star Wars
No.
midichlorian stories.
But I think that bit of mysticism, because it's already an awesome adventure film,
Yeah.
but I missed that magic from this one. And
Okay,
I-
so do you want a Star Wars film every year?
yeah,
You do.
yeah,
Everyone
Not,
agreed.
not forever.
I want it forever.
but it's like at least another 6
No,
years.
if they do one every year forever, then gonna start being terrible.
I think, but do you not remember like when the Lord of the Rings films or the Harry Potter films, like
They
every
come out
year
every-
they came out, and you were like, oh, it's Lord of the Rings time, and it was like a really exciting
Yeah.
thing. And then they brought The Hobbit out, and you're
Yeah, but
like,
they
oh, it's
stopped.
Christmas. I mean, if Star Wars becomes synonymous with Christmas, that'd be so exciting.
they did eventually stop.
Yeah, but then
So
I
a
missed
couple
there was
of
a
years
gap.
of Star Wars.
But then someone else has to like take the baton.
Yeah, but I think a little gap between that. You know, don't keep flogging the series until it
I'd be
dies.
happy every 2 years, personally. I'd be happy with...
Well, that is kind of
That's what's going on, mate.
yeah.
No, it's
they're
every
doing-
year. It's one every year.
Yeah, but one's like a silly little film and one's a canon film.
Okay.
Yeah, pure.
Okay, so the ruling on Star Wars is...
Do you want, no, Nick, what do you want? Do you want less films?
I want just the main episode 7, 8, and 9, one every 2 years, so you can get excited about it. I mean,
what's harmful about this? Are you not excited by 9?
I
Or
get
by
no,
8, sorry?
no, I get the excitement cannot be the same if it happens every year.
yeah. Bless you. I think a trilogy. Every sort of like, you know, a gap and then another trilogy.
Because, you know, everyone's
It's good.
effort is going into these 3 films. Are going to be like Star
Yeah.
Wars is. It was like how long between, like 20 years between the 2 trilogies.
That was too
Past.
long.
Agreed, but it
Too long, that
meant
is
they
too
had like the best,
That's
the best ideas across that time period. Okay, that didn't actually work out very well in the end, but I mean, like every piece of effort they could muster was going into
Imagine
that
you're like
trilogy.
80 years old, right?
Yeah.
And you love Star Wars
Okay.
so much. Imagine if you're like, sorry, you're going to have to wait like 10 years between things. You're going to be like, but I would like to know the story before I die.
Well, that's what happened, isn't it? So there was a guy who was like terminally ill,
right.
no.
and he wanted to see The Force Awakens before it was released.
Did he make it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He made it?
They showed no. He didn't make it to before the screening, but they showed him an early screening of it.
But he missed Rogue One though.
I mean, what's the
did.
big, we get so much content. Like a year feels longer than a year these days, surely, doesn't it?
okay, I'm overruled.
no.
I'm overruled. So Star Wars is a good year for Star Wars this year,
Yeah,
and
I
we're
think so.
allowing it in 2017.
Yep.
Star Wars made it. So David,
It could have been a better year for Star Wars, but I think we want more.
Yeah.
Oh.
Any other films that were notable this year? Because there wasn't a huge amount.
Well, I propose telling DC to shut up and sit down and just stick to TV.
Okay, so DC
The amount of
movies.
hours of
But you want to
cinema
keep them on
time.
TV though. So DC movies, get them out 2017.
get them
Barred in
out.
2017. But
Everything.
DC TV you want to go through.
The Flash
I know
is
nothing
sick.
about
the
this.
Flash is amazing. That show is unbelievable. Season 1 was. Season 2 is a bit. It's so.
Wait, so what are the
These are
TV
right.
shows? What
Flash,
TV shows?
Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and you've got another one.
Have
Supergirl. I'm not into.
you seen any
Supergirl.
of these, man? Have you seen these?
No.
I haven't seen any.
But
of them.
they always are much better on TV, like Smallville, all that stuff. They hit TV well, but the Flash is unbelievable. I think they just they get so nervous about making a film. They put too much into it, and they just like basically just fuck ants on each of these films, and like have so much different creative control in it because they're all so fucking scared of it being a fucking mess. Whereas I think Marvel just goes, okay, we're going to pick some good talent, give you RIP, and you're going to tell us a story.
Yeah.
It
But
feels like
DC
they're
gets so.
more-
I agree. They feel so nervous. They feel like, oh shit! Did you see?
so
did you see
tryhard.
Civil War that Marvel put out? We got to do something that good. So this year in films we had Batman vs Superman, which was I think everyone agrees was a terrible film.
It was so
Although
many
It was a turd sandwich.
I quite enjoyed it because it was really bad.
I think you enjoyed 10 minutes of it, didn't you?
The Wonder Woman fight at the end, they had this kind of like weird rock music that came in.
She was sick. She
And that
was so
really
good in it.
awesome.
Her and Jeremy Irons were sick.
Yeah. I don't mind Ben Affleck, surprisingly. I don't really not a big fan. But then there's also Suicide Squad. Anyone see Suicide
Yeah.
Squad?
Yeah,
No.
I've seen that.
I didn't see it either.
I've seen it. So
No.
basically, that
But
film,
it's a flop, right?
yeah, it's just it just looks like. I mean, people have already seen it. You know what I mean? But it just looks like a disfigured mess. So the film looks like a series of scenes stitched together. It looks like 2 or 3 films put together, and there's no character development. It's just awful. Harley Quinn is great in it, and Will Smith's pretty good in it. But
What about the Joker? I heard that Jared Leto was pretty
it's
good.
awful.
He's not
You know-
really.
you know what?
I
Are you
love Jared
joking?
Leto.
Are you joking? You heard he was good.
I heard he was in it.
He was-
and I thought he'd
I
be a
heard he was
great
in it.
Joker.
I heard he was in it briefly.
Absolutely
Yeah, he was
abominable.
pissed off that he didn't get more time as well.
He was
He's-
so the Joker in this one is sitting in like a gangster club surrounded by like riches and wealth and gold and like drinking like stuff, and he's like hedonistic, and the Joker isn't. It's just completely off character.
No one's going to beat Heath Ledger on his acting.
But,
So,
but it's
yeah.
not even on the character in the comics.
Yeah.
The Joker's about anarchy, and this guy was just like a thug, like a rich,
A pimp.
mean thug. And I think ironically in the trailers, there's one part where he pushes Harley Quinn out of an aircraft, and it looks a bit like he's having a really abusive relationship with her.
Yeah.
And that's what they signified in the first trailer. But in the movie, he pushes her out to save her life. So it felt like a lot of what they did halfway through the film was they wanted to get rid of a darker tone and make it more funny and witty, like a Marvel film. So there's parts where they're doing all these little witty quips. They did that trailer, which had the Queen Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack to it.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. Like, once again, the trailers for these films, the Batman Superman trailer looked awesome.
But the marketeers keep coming in on DC and like going, no, this isn't what people want, and just do some like cosmetic overhaul to the film and recut it. I bet you that's what's happening. And the guy that makes the films is always like gagging order.
Yeah.
And whenever they talk about it, they're like, so
we wanted to do this
the film
all the time. Yeah.
So I don't know. They've had enough chances. The problem I have is I've sat so many hours in cinemas getting excited about this stuff, and they just come out as a bunch of limp
there's
dicks.
a lot of flops this year. Like everyone was so hyped for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah,
that was a flop. Yeah,
the Beasts were really cool in it, but everything else was rubbish.
Yeah,
that little thing that stole the money was lovely.
Oh.
The Beasts were good, but everything else.
I can't remember a film I particularly enjoyed at the cinema.
Independence Day Resurgence.
What were the other DC films?
That was it. There's only 2, right?
Was it? Oh yeah, there was.
Yeah. Wait. So I want to move on to Marvel in a second. But are we agreeing then that David, you're the only one who's like consumed all the DC content this year?
Yeah.
So I think we can say DC just.
But do you want to see the Wonder Woman movie? Do you want to see that?
I just don't think it'd be very good though.
So the issue is they used to do great ones. They did Superman and they did Batman, the original ones.
Yeah, like the Mr. Freeze and stuff.
Yeah, and the whole Christopher Nolan Batman. That was like, we're going to give you a director complete creative freedom to make something awesome. But now they just seem to be.
But how lucky were they to get Christopher Nolan for 3 films? Like, it's you can't really recreate that. And I feel like they were Nolan's films. I don't know how much DC had to do with any of the kind of. Yeah,
that's the thing. But they
have to pick the right talent.
They need to step back and just chill the hell out.
Yeah,
and just focus rather than trying to catch up Marvel within a year.
Okay, so let's say DC movies banned from 2017.
Yeah,
TV shows. You know what? Go ahead.
Yeah,
you got good TV shows, but films not. Okay, so next one, Marvel.
Who is that? Who made Deadpool?
That's Marvel.
No, that's actually. I believe the film rights of Deadpool are Fox.
Okay. Is it like the Spider-Man situation?
No, it's the X-Men. It's the X-Men situation.
No, but Spider-Man is Sony.
Spider-Man Sony.
Yeah.
Deadpool and X-Men, I think, are Fox.
Interesting.
I think.
Did you hear the story about Spider-Man? About they wanted Spider-Man in the Avengers, but Sony didn't want to have him in their films. So they just keep bringing a film out every 3 years to refresh the IP on it as they lose the rights to it.
They wanted Spider-Man in the Avengers.
In their canon. Because so Spider-Man was so separate, it was only Sony films.
Yeah.
But Sony only brought Spider-Man films out because if they didn't, they'd lose the IP on it.
Wow.
So they kept just bringing out films just to keep the IP, and they're always bad. So Marvel came up with a deal with Sony. They say, we will make your film for you, but we have your character in our show, in our universe.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And so now they've written the script for the new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And Sony get the rights for it.
Here we go. Fox own Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, Deadpool, Wolverine, Cable, X-Men, and they share rights with Marvel over Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
That's crazy. Because Marvel only recently have decided to go into this whole kind of MCU, like expanded universe. And so they must be trying to like pull back all their rights they've given away.
And I think that's some of the tough things. Reading some of the comics is that the X-Men and the like Wolverine is such a big part of the Avengers. Like his whole character archetype of this gruff, no bullshit.
Is he in the Avengers?
Yeah,
in the comics.
Yeah, like fatigued rebel, and he's like, there's no character like that in the film Avengers. There's no one which is like opposing Tony that blatantly. So they've not got that archetype, and they also miss out the Spider-Man kind of quick, joking, witty one, and that's why Iron Man's become a bit more of a smart ass. Yeah. But they miss a balance of interesting archetypes in this. So they probably have to keep covering it of bringing up these minor characters and making them bigger.
Yeah, because they feel like minor characters. There's a reason why a lot of these aren't the biggest characters.
Imagine if you had Professor X and Wolverine all like batting it off of like.
That would be a busy film. I feel the Avengers film was already pretty busy with superheroes.
Yeah.
What do you think of? So your question was Marvel. Like, what do you think of the Marvel films?
Yeah, no. Do we want to have all these films in 2017, or we had enough of Marvel comic book movies?
I've had enough of people just generally churning out as many comic book movies as possible. I'd rather they spend a bit more time making one that's good.
Yeah.
rather than releasing so many.
Yeah, I quite like the idea of having lots of little ones, but then one main one, like in Star Wars. So like even if they have like a main one, which is like the Avengers,
Yeah.
or and it's at the end Infinity Wars coming up. I think that's quite cool. But what I've loved is Ant-Man last year, and also Doctor Strange this year.
Right.
So just taking some of the smaller characters and developing them has been
Yeah.
Because in an Avengers type of film, you've got no time for backstory. You can't develop a character in that film. You have to rely on the people watching a standalone movie of each character. So
I find it kind of confusing because I remember watching Captain America: Civil War, and the majority of the film was about Tony Stark.
Yeah, I find all the Captain America stuff. I don't like Captain America.
I don't like it either. The first one was really boring as well.
Because
I kind of like the first one.
Got bored a bit.
I didn't. He just isn't super enough. And his
Yeah.
character is so vanilla.
This is true.
That's he's straight laced though. Like they play to that. Like he's just the good guy.
But it's like he doesn't have as much power, and he's also really serious. So, but he's not that charismatic either. And I feel like he should have some kind of element of persuasion, other than just being the guy who's typically always right.
Yeah.
Like a noble.
Yeah.
He should have some other thing.
So do you reckon? What's the lineup for next year's Marvel? Do we have the ones that are coming up?
Yeah, so there's Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Right. So
Guardians of
that's
the Galaxy's got, I think, my favourite Marvel film.
that's great. That's like a modern day Star Wars.
Yeah.
Modern day.
Actually, when that came out, people were like, this is Star Wars. This is Star Wars. And then I think you've got Spider-Man Homecoming coming out next year, which is big. And then you've got, I think, Thor
new film
Free
for Thor.
Ragnarok. But I'm well excited about Thor because it's it's a Thor and Hulk buddy movie, basically.
And what's his name? The guy who
Mark
plays
Ruffalo.
Thor?
Oh.
The hench Australian guy.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
Which Hemsworth?
Chris
Hemsworth, yeah.
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris, yeah. They're good for. I don't want any more of these movies, but then I hear what they are, and I'm like, oh, I want to see Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to see this Thor film. I quite like the Spider-Man in the last Captain America. Like, I'm probably say DC, get out.
Yeah.
Marvel, keep doing what you're doing. Maybe.
Yeah. Did you enjoy Deadpool?
I did. It was like a B movie though. It didn't feel like
Marvel.
a big budget.
I liked it, but it felt a little bit like if I was a teenager, a spotty teenager, would have loved it.
Yeah.
It was like controversial.
Yeah, it was as controversial as you could get, probably. For
But his jokes were
comic
so
book
like,
movie.
like obvious. But a lot of it was pretty cool and dark.
And I quite
the
like-
villain sucked though. The villain could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
But they kind of ran out of characters, didn't they? But Ryan Reynolds was sick.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is
That's good.
great. He's so charismatic as well. He's like,
Yeah.
why is he not in more stuff these days? He's like,
You want more Reynolds? You want more Reynolds
I'm
in 2017?
I'm added in. Ryan Reynolds made it. That's like a left field addition. I didn't expect that. Whoa. I'm shocked. Shit, yeah. I think you're right. More Reynolds in 2017. I've completely lost where I was.
You just think of Ryan Reynolds
Why am I
riffling eight-pack.
dribbling? I'm dribbling a little here, in fact.
Wow, Ryan.
I was getting Deadpool confused with Ant-Man. Was Ant-Man this year or not? That was last year. Right? Okay, Ant-Man was fun. It was like B-movie style stuff.
But
Okay,
Doctor Strange was sick. I loved that.
it was good.
They need to do a VR game of casting spells from Doctor Strange.
There we go.
I want that.
Oh, is that good? No, it doesn't ring it. That's not a good segue. Wait, hold the segue. Hold the segue back. That's not a good segue. Okay, so Marvel movies, we let you in 2017. Okay.
Shall we move on to television?
That's television.
Streaming television.
Television.
Netflix had a big year.
Yeah.
Like a really big year. It's the first time I've really been super blown away by like all of the Netflix original stuff that's been released, and it seems like it's really pushed its way forward in terms of I never watch television anymore.
I've
Netflix
got rid
is
of my
great.
Sky, so
Yeah, no
I've
way.
gone pure Sky and Amazon, pure Amazon and Netflix now,
And Crunchyroll.
and a little Crunchyroll for that anime.
Your
anime.
Everyone's guilty pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for bringing it up on the podcast. I'm actually a Crunchyroll premium subscriber now as well. So yeah, Netflix had a huge year. So I think the big one that was Stranger Things,
Oh yeah,
and that caught everyone by surprise as well.
massive.
Oh, and the other big one was the Well, we
Wait.
just were watching the OV.
Wait, OA.
Oh, God.
So Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Do we think that was great?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We do.
Do we all? Are we all in agreement?
Yeah, completely. The
Nick,
story could have been a bit better, but
I thought the first half was
The
really
universe
good.
was fantastic.
The universe was great. The first half
Yeah.
was good until we start seeing what the beast was, and then, in my opinion, it kind of went a bit downhill. But I love the whole Dungeons and Dragons stuff, like that.
Yeah.
Like these kids playing these kind of geeky board games. It's now okay to do that. Like you can now,
So here's the thing: like, the old films from the 80s used to tell stories through the eyes of children,
Yeah.
and that's what Steven Spielberg used to do with E.T., used to do with the Goonies, used to tell stories through children's eyes, and then it made it universally appealable to adults as well. It made it very cool. And
It's
films
just
don't
it's a
normally do that
perfect
anymore.
story because then you can look at it from the perspective of this is an imagination of children. Like the whole story could be just them like playing.
And the
making
idea
up
of the film,
stuff.
the show is that it mirrors the game of Dungeons and Dragons they're playing at the beginning.
Yeah.
There is the monster and the upside down worlds underneath the board.
Yeah.
It's kind of a childlike sense of wonder and exploring this kind of scary situation.
You can turn it into a completely sort of weird, the upside down world and whatever. Like you can have as much unbelievable stuff in there as you want, and it still feels great because you are watching it through the eyes of children.
There's something very joyous and kind of uplifting about watching it through that lens, and makes you brings that kind of carefree-ness. A lot of these films, a lot of TV recently has become very serious, very adult and very gritty, which is great because they used to be shite. So things like Breaking Bad and all that stuff are like gritty realism, but this is like an optimistic view on that realism. It's kind of cool.
People are being killed, sure, but people are having fun while doing it. It's kind of like this is more of a segue, but the Final Fantasy, the new one, it's like they're fighting these big monsters, like usually quite a serious game, but they're a group of 5 guys having a good time while doing it. It's like a road trip. It's like that whole way of telling a story that is having fun while doing it, and kids having a joyous sense of wonder.
I think the difference is that Stranger Things is quite self-aware, whereas Final Fantasy is not self-aware at all.
I can see that might be a problem. So, any other big series? We watched.
So there's The Get Down, which was pretty good. I heard.
Okay,
that was supposed to be really good. Good production value. The Crown has done well.
Yeah, The Crown is good.
sick.
Yeah.
They revamped Gilmore Girls.
I heard bad things about that though.
Really?
For some reason I read a whole review on it, even though I've never seen the Gilmore Girls.
No.
And The Verge were like, this is not where we wanted it to be revamped.
Oh, really? But I mean, it just disappeared for 5 years or something.
No
6
idea
years,
about
and
that
then
show.
suddenly
I
it's
just read
just
one review about that.
Netflix bought the rights or whatever and revamped
like Arrested
it.
Development, they did the same thing.
Yeah. There was also a lot of Marvel stuff that Netflix released, which was Daredevil series. Season 2 came out this year. Jessica Jones.
Didn't come out this year.
It was the end of last year. And Luke Cage. I don't know what Luke Cage is.
I wasn't impressed by any of the Marvel TV stuff.
Oh, I quite like Daredevil.
Season 2.
Season 1 I liked.
Season 1 was
Season
good.
2 I haven't
Season
seen.
2. I just find them tedious.
Really?
Really tedious.
shame.
This is why I'm like, Marvel focus on film, DC focus on TV. I think it's really hard to juggle both.
Yeah.
And also, because I think Marvel have the problem of they've joined the universes up, whereas DC have been quite clever because they've already introduced the multiverse into their TV.
Right.
So even the world that Supergirl lives on is not the world that Supergirl and Superman live on is not the same universe that the Flash lives on.
The same universe?
Yeah, you know that the
Not the
multiverse?
same universe?
Not the same universe.
Oh.
But sometimes the Flash can jump through dimensions and hop into her universe.
That's kinda cool.
But that's how they keep their cinematic universe on canon, because it's just another part of the multiverse.
Because Marvel have that big problem with the whole, why aren't the Avengers fixing this problem?
Yeah,
Like, they're
they
busy
keep
doing
saying-
something else.
And I thought there'd be way more of the core Avengers in these TV shows.
But it's
no,
so expensive.
They've
They
not done
can't-
any.
they can't afford it.
But
There's
they've not
no
even done a
way.
little cameo of anyone.
They have. They had in S.H.I.E.L.D., they have like the B-movie characters.
Not Falcon.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Because that's the best they can afford.
Oh, but that's so disappointing.
It is.
Yay, Falcon.
Yeah.
Everyone's favourite.
It's funny. It was a really good one. After Thor, the second Thor, London was destroyed or whatever. The S.H.I.E.L.D. episode that came out a week after was like the rubble of London. It's like some
They
of the
cleared
bad
the rubble.
characters. It's like, well, got to clean this mess up. It's like, it's just it's TV budget following a big movie. It's a bit sad.
Did anyone watch Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the best show on Netflix all year. I'm going
There you
to
go.
slap it down.
I think it's one of the best science fiction shows ever made.
Apart
Really?
from Battlestar Galactica.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, well. That came out a long time ago,
No,
David.
the new one.
That came out a long time ago,
Yeah,
David.
still quite a while back.
That's not part of our 2016, 2017 Gatekeeper.
You said ever. So you brought it. Yeah, okay. Best science fiction show all year.
Okay, definitely all year because I think ever. So
Do you?
Well, I think it's probably definitely.
You've not
top.
watched Battlestar.
I have.
You? You've watched the first season.
I've watched the first season.
Battlestar's so controversial though in its ending.
Do you like? Have you seen the whole?
I loved it, yeah. But the final episode was just like,
Oh yeah, that was.
Sounds like we should stop talking about that. To be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Seeing as I haven't seen it yet, plan
But,
to.
oh, sorry to spoil a 10-year-old show. Nick.
Exactly, 10 years old. 10 years old.
You can't have
David.
it both ways.
Okay, is there anything else with Netflix? Any other big shows?
There's just the thing. I guess
a lot of
what
films.
I like about it is their pattern. I just turn on Netflix and it's like, here's something new every
Yeah.
week, and I'm like, holy shit, I will binge on this.
But so, it's stuff you don't expect.
Yeah.
Like Making a Murderer last year came out of nowhere to become a sensation.
Yeah.
Stranger Things, no one knew that was coming out until it just dropped.
Yeah.
Black Mirror, I'm a big fan
Oh,
of Black
yeah.
Mirror, but that came up on Netflix one day. I was like, oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's just like you don't know what you're going to get. And it's some shit.
the OA.
The OA we watched recently, I thought was
not good?
good.
Okay.
But the ending is not to
ending-
spoil it again. But ending is just
Because
weak sauce.
it looks like it was made. We were chatting yesterday about how it looks like it's been made by two very different people. One who's completely competent in writing and cinematography, and one who's never written a script in their life.
Well,
or
never
had
spoken to someone properly.
yeah, who's never had a conversation.
So it's hit and miss. But I think that's how Netflix is, though, right? There are some shows that there's so much. What's the guy who's in Mall Cop? Paul Blart? No. What's the Kevin James? There's so much Kevin James original content on
Yeah,
Netflix.
but he's made
which
like
is
a billion movies, hasn't he?
But I think with Netflix, you never know what you're going to get, and there's some absolute gems on there.
I listened to a business podcast with the guy that's running kind of Netflix.
Oh, really?
And he was talking about their strategy and about, I think The Crown has cost them 200 million to
What?
make all the seasons or something like that. Or like 200, like huge amount of money. And he's like,
The grand tour was 250 million. I read today.
Yeah.
and they were like, "There's no way that the BBC would have." It looks like a BBC drama, but there's no way the BBC would have been able to afford it. So Netflix is just like pumping in all this money into original content.
But-
They want to be an HBO basically.
But the market for Netflix is worldwide straight away. So you
yeah.
can instantly, any show they make has got a much bigger market than
It's already
any BBC
better than
show.
HBO.
they have all the points of distribution.
Yeah.
Now all they need to do is keep being the most relevant channel,
Which
and
means-
outproduce Amazon and outproduce HBO and outproduce everyone. So they know that their situation is good but precarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think Netflix original content, really want to see more of that in 2017.
Definitely.
And I
Straight
guess-
through.
I guess
what about
that-
what about Amazon?
Oh, hang on.
Do you want to see more of that stuff?
The
Grand
Amazon
Tour
stuff
was
like
not
Goliath
great.
was great. If you've seen that with Bobby Ray Thornton,
That no.
They've done some really good shows. And then there's the guy in the high tower, isn't it? The guy
The Man in the High Tower.
No, Man in the High Castle.
High Castle, yeah.
Castle. And then
Don't know if that's doing
oh,
well.
and Preacher. Preacher was really good.
Preacher's
You've
good.
seen Preacher.
Just they don't
They
seem
haven't
to have
really
many hits.
There's not as much stuff that's been
They spent
released.
all of it on Grand Tour.
Do you know their challenge is like HBO launched Westworld and Game of Thrones, and they're like Westworld launched the first season. It's already an instant kind of series. You're like, holy crap, what happens next? I know these characters. It's the most well-made show I think this year. And Game of Thrones is like one of those seasons you want to watch and watch and watch. But I don't think Netflix or Amazon, for that matter, have that caliber of show quite yet. Like that proper god tier TV
Yeah.
show.
But I quite like the sort of Netflix mantra of releasing everything at once,
Yeah.
letting you binge watch a whole series in one go.
But their business challenge is being known for a few awesome IPs.
Yeah.
And they've got to create it. So if they can do like even American Horror Story or stuff like that, that's like really well-known stuff that you keep coming back to.
Yeah.
So they need to do like a stranger, because their season seems to like drop off in season 2.
But I think that's because it's new.
yeah.
It's only in the last couple of years they've been doing it. So maybe in a couple of years' time we'll see a lot of series that stay.
Well, that's The Crown, isn't it? That's their big bet.
That came out of nowhere as well, though, right? The Crown was like that just turned up one day.
But it's quite funny.
Yeah.
It just shows how they don't need to market anything, really, because people just don't care. They'll just watch it if it's there. And
feel like
make
they-
impulsive decisions.
They do a lot of marketing though. Like every
Do they?
bus in London's just
Yeah.
got like The Crown and Black Mirror all over it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, there we go.
but it's
So-
doing well.
We spoke about. Okay, now let's go quickly onto HBO shows because those are always one of the biggest TV to talk about. So, Westworld. I know David and
Yeah.
you and I have seen it. Are we hyped about that for next year, or do you want to see it? Was it good?
It's not out next year. It's out in 2018.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I want it next
What?
year, but someone's denied it for us. So season 2 is not out until 2018.
That's so weird. A TV show is
the
taking
problem.
longer to produce than Star Wars.
That's the problem, though. Like, whenever you finish a season of Game of Thrones, suddenly you have to wait for a year plus for the next
And
season.
they're
to
cutting the
come
length of the episodes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually so. One of the things of the Flash, season 1 is amazing. It's 24 episodes of gold, but season 2, it's 24 episodes and a bit of filler, and you're
Really?
like, oh, you should just cut it. Stop doing that like 24 episode format, because that's why I think Game of Thrones and Westworld just condense their content.
Yeah.
But that means you have like 42 weeks until you find out what happens next.
So much, yeah. So we hyped about Game of Thrones coming back next
Game
year.
of Thrones was
Oh, yeah.
amazing. Do you not remember
Oh, yeah.
Ramsay? And Ramsay
Ramsay was the best character on TV for a while.
Yeah.
It was so dark. I loved it. Like,
yeah.
in a obviously not. I don't condone his actions, but he was good.
I mean, so is Daenerys, who does she meet at the end? Didn't everyone just bloody meet each other at some point?
No, we spoiling endings? Of course, yeah. The queen killed everyone,
skip
right?
for 2 minutes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 2 minutes.
There'll be
of spoilers.
timings in the description if you want to skip
Yeah.
ahead for this Game of Thrones bit.
Well, it's already been ruined.
Yeah,
so.
it's fine.
I'll leave it out.
Those timings are cool, by the way, Mike. I like that. I saw it. It was very cool.
So yeah, the Queen she became the Queen,
Yeah.
the ruler of Westeros.
And the king killed himself. King's Landing.
And she's on the Iron Throne, which is the most
Yeah,
important
because
thing.
her son committed suicide. Okay, so this is
that was amazing.
this is the penultimate season, is it?
No, it's not.
It
There's
is.
two more.
There's two. Yeah.
The one upcoming is the penultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And what happened to Daenerys? She's
Isn't
on her
she right
ships.
at-
She's on her
she's
ships.
on the way.
And the dragons are flying around her.
Yeah.
And then Jon Snow has got.
isn't he dead? No, he's back.
No, he's got the Winterfell. He's got to Winterfell. He took Winterfell.
Yeah.
This is like an.
But also, Daenerys is with the army of Ironborn guys. What's her name? Yara? Something?
Unsaki.
What?
Unsaki.
What's her name?
Doesn't matter.
What's the guy who had his penis cut
Theon
off?
Greyjoy.
Theon
The
Greyjoy,
Greyjoys.
yeah. Oh, is he the guy
Yara
who knocked-
Greyjoy came and teamed up with Daenerys and given her like 1,000 ships or whatever.
Yeah.
But for me though, I
Shit.
want to see it in
Massive
2017. But this feels to me like it should be the final season. Like everything is converging in a single point.
No, man.
It is.
I don't want 2 seasons. I want it to be concluded in one season. I want an epic season.
You
like
don't know
a
what's going to
battle
happen
season.
yet.
But dude, I think there's so much stuff still to happen. Like winter has not really come yet. It's not gone over the wall. There's still loads of shit going on in Bravos that they've not wrapped up. That area, like Arya Stark, she still needs to be.
She's so far
She
away.
started assassinating people, didn't she, in the last season?
Oh,
She got
yeah. She became a no-face woman.
That was actually the 2 of the best parts of the season was that show where they basically played Arya Stark the history
I
of
love
what's
that.
happened.
I love
That was
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then just so many good parts of it. Wow, this is good. Yeah, I had
Can't
to-
wait.
I'm really excited about that
Cannot
one.
wait.
So Game of Thrones gets let in and Westworld doesn't because of a technicality.
Yeah.
But
What other TV shows are you looking
We'll
forward to
revisit.
next year?
I got really into The Leftovers, which is like a small HBO show, and it's really, really good. And there's the last season of that next season. I'm super hyped about that.
We are going to get Stranger Things season 2.
yay!
I think it's gonna be a good year for TV.
I hope
Films,
so.
I don't know.
I want them to. Oh, Designated Survivor is really good as well on
Oh, I've
Netflix.
heard good things about that.
That was
yeah.
good. Kiefer Sutherland is now writing his own show where he actually becomes the president.
Yep.
He's not protecting the president anymore. He is the president.
He's taking control.
yeah.
He's
yeah.
assumed control.
They're making a Lethal Weapon series?
Oh God.
Interesting.
I think the novelty of having a black and a white cop working together is not as like bizarre as it was when they released the first Lethal. That was the joke. Look, a black man and a white man working together solving crime.
Rush Hour, Chinese and black solving crime.
That was the evolution.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna have like a gay guy and a lesbian or something like that.
Yeah.
They need to kind of up the differences.
Yeah.
The guy. Actually, they've already done Ironside. The guy in the wheelchair. God damn it.
This world is so progressive now.
Yeah.
It's so good.
All right.
So that's our television section done. But I think we're going to
TV and movies.
We're going to split this one into 2 episodes.
I like the way David described it. Non-interactive
Entertainment.
It's like,
He partitioned this with games.
Yeah,
Episode,
it's just
things that you watch or just listen to.
just like you'd say, the non-video game
Part 2 will be the video game section.
with tech and stuff as well.
And dead celebrities.
Oh, dead celebs.
Dead celebs.
A category unto itself.
Yeah. So I guess join us in a bit for 2016 Part 2.
Guardians of
Wrapped up.
2017.
Yeah.
I want to call it the Guardians of 2017.
Yeah. Send your questions in to getoutmyheadpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you very much.